V here, back with another GCSS Army helpful video. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to start preparing for the inventory process. I call this step one, okay? There's a few key tasks that must be completed before you even initiate your physical inventory document, all right? So those key tasks, one, you need to ensure your parts room is clean, everything is somewhat organized, all the material is accessible, and it's together. All right, after that you also need to make sure that all your material that needs to be issued is issued out of your mat sit that are consumed. You also need to make sure that all PTIs are completed with the SSA. The reason for this is when you actually conduct your physical inventories, you're not trying to find parts that have already been issued out and so forth. All right, so it's going to speed up your process and it's going to condense your physical inventory lines. All right, so when we talk about physical inventories, preparing for it, one of the common mistakes that I see, especially when I go down and do like a CMDP inspection, is I go into a T code MI24, where I'm able to look at physical inventory documents, and I'm able to see historical documents where the units failed to complete the inventory in 30 days. There's still open inventories. There's material that's not yet been counted. So the reason for this, before doing a new inventory, you must get rid of those previous inventories that have not been completed and posted. This will allow you to capture all the material. So if I had a starter on a previous inventory that I have not yet counted and I'm trying to conduct a new inventory, it's not going to capture that starter because it's already being accounted for in another document. So therefore, we must get rid of the old documents inside of GCSS Army. So without further ado, let's jump into MI24. If you're new to the channel, please take a look at the videos. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So I'm going to go into MI24. This is going to allow me to pull all the physical inventory lists for my plant and SLOC. All right. So if you do know your inventory number, your previous one, you can post it here, but I just run it open like this. All right. So I go down here to physical inventory items. I'll check it. I'll hit OK. So I'm going to go not yet counted. And I'm going to execute. So if you look here, this physical inventory document, 1255, right? So this has not yet been counted. So the unit wants to conduct a new inventory. So anything on this previous inventory here is not going to be counted in new inventory. So it's pretty simple on how to do this. So I'm going to select all. I'm going to go up to go to change document, and I'm going to delete this inventory out of here. Now, by doing that, I'm able to create my physical inventory, my new document, and capture all that stuff that has not been counted, that is being tied up by a previous inventory document. So to make sure that there's no more in here, we're going to run it one more time. So all previous documents are out of the system. That's what you want. You don't want to have multiple documents running at one time. It's going to affect your accounting, and it's not going to actually match your shop stock, bench stock listings. So a few key takeaways. All right. So when you do an inventory, make sure you use proper planning and time management. Like I said, 30 days. So give yourself enough time to actually complete the inventory. Also, like I said, if there's a previous inventory document that's open, you need to get rid of that out of the system. Now, this typical unit, or this type of unit that I was just in, has never actually physically done an inventory. So if a unit was to actually do an inventory from start to finish, you'll see it where it says, inventory counted, adjusted, posted. You want to leave those because that's your historical data. So if I was to come in and, like I said, do an inspection, I'm going to see that, hey, yep, they did their inventory, it was counted, it was posted. All right, keep that. So I hope this video was helpful. We're getting ready to move into the next step of our shop stock inventories. But like I said before, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. And as always, go Ordnance. We're back again with another GCSS Army helpful video. Today we're going to go to step 2 of the inventory process, and that is creating your physical inventory document. If you haven't had a chance to watch my previous videos, make sure you do. Make sure you like and subscribe. So today we're going to be working in MI31. We're going to create a physical inventory document. Make sure you go back and watch my previous video on how to properly prepare for a physical inventory. So we're going to go to MI31. So for MI31, we're going to make sure we put our plant in, our SLOC, materials marked for deletion. Make sure you unclick this box. You're going to scroll down here to account to stock and make sure that you're only selecting materials without zero stocks. So the reason for this, like I stated in my previous video, if you don't check this box, it's going to pull everything that's not even on your mat sit. Your mat sit drives the inventory process. All right. So you may have 1,900 things on your inventory report that are not even in your material situation report. So if you click this box, it will match how many lines are actually in your mat sit. From there, you're going to go to sorting, and you're going to click on the second one, plant select storage bin material. All right, you're going to execute. So we pulled up 726 lines of shop stock. So to create the documents, it's pretty simple. You're just going to select all. You're going to create the documents. All right, as you see, we have no errors found. I'm going to do a separate video and actually show you guys how to get rid of some of these errors that may populate when you do. All right, so you're going to show results. So as you see, because of the number of lines, we're actually going to have 3 different inventory documents. Okay, so if you don't want 3 inventory documents, you can go back to the main screen. You can change from 300 to the number you want on one physical document. But that is how you create your physical inventory sheets. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and like always, go Ordnance. Tom First Class V back here again with another GCSS Army helpful tip video. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So we're going to work on step 3 of the inventory process, and that is print a physical inventory. This is a very simple process, so let's get started. The T code that we're working in is MI21, print physical inventory. So make sure that you have your physical inventory document number on hand. All right, what you're going to do is you're going to execute, go to print preview. And as you see, here is your physical inventory document. Okay, so from here, you will print and you are good to go. So if you notice it on the actual top header, it'll tell you who created the inventory, the physical inventory document number, and also the planned count date, which was today. So I hope this video was helpful. Stay tuned for more inventory processes, and like always, go Ordnance. First Class V here again, back with another G Army video. So if you've been following along, we're currently on step 4 of the physical inventory process. So step 4 is entering the counts for our inventory. So this is a pretty simple step. You've already done the legwork and actually physically counted all of the material. So without further ado, let's jump into MI04. MI04 is enter inventory count for a document, okay? So most of the time, your inventory document you've been working on is going to populate here. If not, make sure that you write it down. You're going to enter it, and you're going to execute. All right, so we already got our counts. So what we're going to do is we're just going to input our counts. Now, a couple things to keep in mind here. So if you have a 0 balance of something, you're not going to put a 0 in the quantity. You're just going to ZC, 0 count. All right. Sometimes you will get a couple error messages. For one, if a piece of material is a terminal item like a Victor code, it's going to tell you that. Just hit OK, and you will be able to process the rest of the inventory. Also, sometimes you will get an error message saying that Z central stock for plant 2000. Just hit OK, acknowledge it, and you'll be fine. So let's enter our two counts here that we got for this SLOC. This one's a 0 balance, and this one is 5. So once you enter the counts, you're going to hit save. Now, you are complete with your inventory counts. All right, so like I said, some of your SLOCs may have 500-600 lines, so it may be a tedious process. Just make sure that you save as you count it. All right. So the next step is to back out of this, and we are preparing for step 5 in the inventory process. So I hope you all like this video. Hope you're all following along. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, and take a look at all the rest of the content I have here on my site. Sergeant First Class V here, back with another GCSS Army video. So today we're almost to the point to close out our physical inventory we've been working on. So I want to recap what we've done so far. We're currently on step 5. So the first step, we prepared ourselves for the inventory. We ensured our room was somewhat decent, clean, and organized. All the like items were together, so we didn't have to spend hours searching for material. Step 2, we created our physical inventory documents. Step 3, we printed our physical inventory documents. In step 4, we actually did the legwork and entered the physical counts from our inventory. In step 5, all we're going to do is list and print our differences and verify before we close out this inventory. So without further ado, let's jump into MI20. All right. So if you're new to my channel and you have not had a chance to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. So MI20. So like I told you before, most of the time, the last inventory you were working on, the number will populate here, but make sure that you have that written down just in case. Make sure that your plant and SLOC are both in there. All we're going to do is we're going to execute. Now from this screen, this will be your whole inventory of everything you counted and the differences. All right. So a few things I want to point out to you. Your RC is your recoverability code. Your CIIC is your controlled item inventory code. Okay. Keep that in mind. Now, in the event that you did fat finger like I did, you can fix your inventory right from here. So all you're going to do is actually click on the line you want to fix. You're going to go to change count. So all you're going to do in change count is going to put the new count. You're going to hit enter. You'll save and you'll refresh. Your count has changed. So in the event that everything checks out, everything's good to go, there's no issues, all right, you can go right up here to print. You'll print your document, and if you wanted to, you could actually post your differences right from here. But for the purpose of the video series, I'm going to actually make that a separate video. Hope y'all like this video. We're getting down to the wire for closing out our inventory. Like I said, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, go Ordnance. Guys, Sergeant First Class V here, back again with another GCSS Army helpful video. So today we're going to close out our inventory, okay? So if you haven't had a chance to watch the previous videos in this series, make sure you do so. Hit that like and subscribe button. So just to recap, so 1, we prepared ourselves for the inventory. 2, we created our actual physical inventory documents. 3, we printed them. 4, we did the legwork and entered the counts from our inventories. And 5, we listed and printed our differences. Okay, so today leaves step 6. Now, if you watch my previous video, I told you the steps 6 and 7 can be done right from the last step. But I'm going to show you guys each step of the way. So without further ado, let's go into MI05 to change our counts. So in the event that you need to change a count, you can do it from the previous screen, or the previous video like I showed you, or you can do it from this step here. So like I said, told you before, your physical inventory number, your plant, and your SLOC. You're going to hit execute. So here is the results of our inventory. Everything that we've done is going to be right here. This was a short inventory, but watch my previous video. I'll talk about the recoverability code and the CIIC code. But if you do want to change account, all you're going to do is click change count. You're going to put in your count here. You're going to hit save. All right, you'll refresh and the numbers will change. Okay, so that's how you complete the 6th step of change counts. So please stay tuned for the finale of the physical inventory process. And as always, go Ordnance. Class V here, back with another G Army helpful video. So I hope y'all been following along through this whole process, this video series on conducting a physical inventory. Today we've reached the finale. We're actually going to get a chance to process and post our physical inventory, okay? So I want to take a few minutes just to recap what we actually did to get to this stage. So the first thing we did, we prepared ourselves for the actual inventory. And what does that mean? So we were able to consume our parts, issue the parts to the work orders, we were PGI to the SSA. From there, we actually created our physical documents, right? We created our inventory documents. Then we printed our documents. Once we printed our documents, we went out and we actually did the legwork and physically counted each location, right? After that, what did we do? We then listed and printed our differences. Now, we had some issues where we fat fingered some stuff that we had to go into our next step, which was change counts. So after the change counts, we are at the final stage of posting the inventory, all right? So without further ado, let's get into MI07, processing and posting. So if you're new to this channel, by the way, make sure that you check out the videos and make sure you like and subscribe. So we're going to go to MI07 here and make sure that your document number is there, your physical year, and your posting. And all you're going to do is hit enter. All right, so we only have 2 things on our inventory, but if there was more, this could be a little bit of time consuming. So anytime you are taking away from the inventory, you need a code. So 370 is for or the code we use to show, hey, there's a minus, there's a difference, there's a subtraction. 344 is what we use if we were to add to the inventory, all right? So both of these we actually subtracted. So we're going to plug in the codes and we're going to hit enter. And then we're going to post the inventory. Now, if you look, differences in physical inventory doc posted. So our inventory is officially closed out, all right? So I want to show you. We're going to go to our equips or MATSIT, I'm sorry. We're going to go to our material situation report. And we were working under 0 kilo 44, right? So if you notice, this is the only thing that's left under 0Q44. Now pay attention. So your last movement date, right? That's the last time it was inventory, right? So there you go. Now, if you do consume the part, then the date will change. But we're going to go into another series of videos on what auto replenish is and how to identify PD lines, ZV, ZM, ZP. So we're going to go through all that, all right? So I hope this was helpful. And like I said, leave your comments down below. And as always, go Ordnance.